Hello, everyone, and warm welcome to today's live webinar on how to become visible to your ideal clients. This is going to be an interactive and practical workshop, so prepare to participate as much as feels comfortable. So there's absolutely no pressure to share anything that doesn't feel comfortable, but I encourage you to actively participate in the process. I'm going to send some Reiki to the whole group. It's a very gentle, loving, healing energy that would support you in dropping deeper and making most of this hour today. And while I'm doing that, I'd love for you to get a sense of why did you set the time aside to attend this event today? So what would it give you? What's your intention? And if there are any noises as people arrive, take it as an invitation to come closer to yourself. So as we're landing, check in with yourself. What would you like from this experience? Mm, Thank you. And as you are landing in this space with that clarity, I'd love for you to imagine a circle on the side. You could look whichever way. So imagine a circle. And into that circle, we're going to invite your ideal clients, those that you want to see you, those that you are calling in. And you may know some of these people, or you may have no idea who these people are, and that's okay. So setting up a circle on the side with your ideal clients. And again, any noises, come closer to yourself. Your circle might be empty or might be full or might be invisible. So whatever happens is just right. So we are having a circle with the clients that we want to invite. As I said, there might be clients that you know, or there might be lots of people that you have no idea who they are. You may not be visual, so you may not see anybody, but you might get a sense that there are people, or you might hear them. So we all process things differently. Mm. And if you can't catch or see it, that can be part of the puzzle, right? Like that's where you're at the moment. And let's see how that changes by the end of this call. So once you connect potentially or not connect with this circle of people, I'd love for you to come back into this moment, come back into your body, take a nice breath. And so we're going to explore three, I don't want to overuse the word secrets. They're not particularly secret, but three aspects that really helped me when I was building my healing business. So to become visible to the right clients, the first thing you need to do is to shift your fear. And you probably know that fear in your body, right? Every time you need to become visible on the camera, or you might be having an event and people are going to see you, or any other experience where you might be seen, you might know that fear. But what I'm talking is much deeper. It may not be even consciously aware of that fear because it can be so deeply ingrained and have very, very deep roots. So this could be fear that is deeply unconscious and can come from as far as past lives. For example, if you were persecuted in a past life for being a healer, it can play out in your present day reality. If, for example, you have so many ancestral stories where your ancestors were persecuted for speaking up, for standing out, for being different, for fighting for justice, or whatever their experiences were, it is encoded in your DNA and it will hold you back. Right? So the fear I'm talking about is goes really deep and it's real, right? It does affect us in our day-to-day reality, especially when we are working with clients and we want to be seen by a larger number of people that we don't know. We have no idea how they might respond to what we bring and how we share it, whether we might be attacked, punished, humiliated, ridiculed, or worse, who knows, right? Like maybe you attract government attention and suddenly the tax office is after you, or whatever the deep fear is. And there can be so many of these fears that we are not even aware of. So what I'd love for you to do is to come into your body and see whether there is a part of your body where there is some sort of contraction or tension or pain, and see if you can connect with that fear. Mhm. Yeah, so all the fears around judgment, trying to say the right things, again, it can be tied to fear of judgment or being punished or ridiculed, being called crazy, right? Like being misunderstood, feeling ignored. Mhm. Yeah, so terror, and somebody says, I can't even say why. And that's the exact point, right? Like some of these are not very conscious fears. They may have no real reason, so to speak, to be there. And yet, the way they affect our reality is very real. And so, how do we shift that fear? So at the end of this call, I'm going to tell you about a practitioner training that I offer, where we do shift these fears and so much more at a karmic ancestral level, at a womb level, and at parental level, because there are so many subconscious messages we get at all those four levels that are getting in our way without us ever realizing where it's coming from and why we feel this terror when we are taking all the right actions, when we are doing perhaps, working with a business coach and following strategies and doing our best, and yet something's not connecting with the people that we want to serve. And oftentimes that's because there is this subconscious fear that we don't even necessarily recognize for what it is. So in a moment, I'm going to ask you to bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus, and we'll do a little healing. Obviously, this is more like a plaster on a wound rather than healing it at a deep level because there's only so much you can do in 5-10 minutes. But you will feel the shift because especially that we've activated this fear or tension or terror in the body. I don't want you to sit in that discomfort. But bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus and imagine radiating your own love towards your whole being. And you can't get this wrong. Just set the intention that you're sending yourself your love. And we're going to say statements. They all will sound like this. I'm so sorry, you. And I'm saying you because we're talking to a part of you. And it could be like 3% of you. It's not the whole truth, it's not who you are, just talking to that wounded aspect. So bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus. Send love towards your whole being and say, I'm so sorry they saw you for all the wrong reasons. I'm so sorry that they criticized you. I'm so sorry that they judged you. I'm so sorry that you are carrying this unconscious terror in your body. I am so sorry that it blocks your every step. I am so sorry that invisibility was your superpower. I'm so sorry that you learned to hide. I'm so sorry that your system feels in danger when you are seen. I'm so sorry you are still angry that they never saw you for who you are. Okay, let's take a breath. Check in with your body and take a look at the circle. And it might be exactly the same. This is just for feedback. There's no expectation for it to change, but it might. So stay soft and open and see how you are now. Mm, thank you. Thank you for all the shares. Mhm. So there's been a lot of tension in the throat. So when I asked, where is that fear? Lots of people said throat. I'd love for you to bring your attention to your throat and then complete this sentence with the first thing that comes into your mind. Don't think about it, whatever comes first. This is the energy of first thought, whatever comes. This is the energy of. Okay, so lots of good options. You can make your own note of your own word and you can do this process later with your own word. I'm going to go with despair because there can be so much despair, especially when you are taking action. And I had periods in my life where, I was doing all the right things. I was blogging every day and I was I had a newsletter. I was trying to be proactive, but somewhere in my psyche, it's like I was taking action and subconsciously saying, don't look here, don't look at me, don't see me, because it was too frightening for my system. It felt dangerous to be seen for historic reasons, both this lifetime and before. And so it wasn't until I cleared that my action started bringing the fruits that I desired, right? Otherwise, it felt like taking action, taking the right action for the sake of taking action, and it can result in so much despair. It's like, why they won't they see me? Another thing is, if you haven't felt seen as a child by your loved ones, by your parents at school, if you weren't seen for who you are, if you weren't recognized for your talents and gifts, chances are that pain is going to get activated when you're trying to get seen by the clients, right? And so when we are not seen again, it's going to bring up all the pain and grief and sadness of the past. So when you are ready, please repeat after me out loud if you can. This despair, this energy of despair, this pure energy of despair is not personal.
This pure energy of despair is not personal.
Take that as an invitation to come closer. This pure energy of despair is not personal. And I am willing to experience it. So I'm going to use a different technique just to clean up whatever's coming up for you. So any contracts, agreements, curses, vows, implants, and imprints that created so much shock in your system are null and void. Clear, clear, clear. Any contracts, agreements, curses, vows, implants, and imprints that created so much interference in the field are null and void. Clear, clear, clear. Any contracts, agreements, curses, vows, implants, and imprints that created this terror, constriction, doubt, suppression in your system are null and void. Clear, clear, clear. So any discarnate entities drawn to this energy of a block in your throat, in your subconscious mind, we're going to gather them and send them to the light, light, light. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, take a nice breath. Yeah. So bring your attention to your body again. Center yourself, feel your feet on the floor. And then we're going to move to the second aspect that really started shifting things for me. So we won't let ourselves be visible to clients for as long as we're not comfortable receiving money. So take that in. So any of your money blocks are likely to repel clients. And we do that because, first of all, think about it, right? To sell something, you have to ask. You have to ask for a sale. I'm going to be very vulnerable by the end of this call and ask you to come and join my practitioner training, right? It is vulnerable to ask. And if you weren't allowed to ask as a child, you weren't allowed to ask for what you want, chances are you're going to block your money flow because then you have to ask and experience the risk of hearing no. And again, if you've been feeling rejected as a child, We don't want to re-experience that pain ever again. And I do a lot of womb healing as part of my practitioner training. And so many of us have experienced and imprinted that rejection at the womb level. So, say your parents weren't ready to have you, or your mother had a really difficult birth before and she didn't want to be a mother again, or it was too close, you weren't planned, they weren't ready, and they go, oh no, when they find out they're pregnant. That oh no gets imprinted into our psyche. And then we project it out and see it everywhere in our lives, including with clients. So, any rejection wound, any fears around asking is going to impact your ability and willingness to be seen by the right people. And there are so many other aspects to money blocks, right? Like asking is one thing, and then having it. And for some of us, there can be a wound between, which says, well, I have to choose between love and money. I can't have both. Or there are so many different permeations of that wounding. So having money can make you a target, can attract another form of unwanted attention. There can be some ancestral stories of having money and then losing it or being targeted. So there are so many reasons why we might be repelling people subconsciously. Consciously, you're saying, come, come, I've got this amazing thing I want to share with you. Subconsciously, you're sending a message of, go away, please, don't make me do this. I'll have to ask you for money, then I'll have to have that money, and then I might be even seen enjoying it, right? And that can go against all your family story and where of hardship and struggle. And at some deeply subconscious level, we want to belong. We want to belong with our original family structure. It's like inbuilt, like a computer software into our system. We may not like them. We might want to be very different from them. We might vow we would never be like them, but we still want to belong. And if that means that we would twist ourselves out of shape and deny ourselves good things, to our subconscious mind, it might feel like a small price to pay. So I'd love for you to bring your attention to your heart center and solar plexus again. And send love and warmth towards your whole being. And so I'm so sorry you have so many unhelpful money stories. I'm so sorry that you are scared of asking for what you want. I am so sorry you are so scared of their rejection. I'm so sorry it's not safe to be seen abundant. I'm so sorry they shamed you for your wants. I'm so sorry you learned to deny yourself what you want. I'm so sorry you learned to pride yourself on surviving on very little. Okay, let's take a breath. And I want you to do a sentence completion for me. So don't think about it, whatever comes first, even if it makes no sense. We're going to have 3 sentences, so you might want to note them, note the words that come on a piece of paper. So take a nice breath. And then when you're ready, the scariest thing about asking for money is, first thought. And if nothing comes, don't panic. There will be plenty of words. So the scariest thing about asking for money is, because that would lead to the second word. The scariest thing about asking for money is your first word, because that would lead to your second word. And that would mean that I am your final word. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. So what's the final word? Thank you. Right, lots of great words. Again, you might want to make a note of your final word and use it with the process that I'm going to lead you through in a moment. I'm going to choose one for the group and see what would be most resonant. So please repeat after me. This worthless. This energy of worthless. This pure energy of worthless is not personal. This pure energy of worthless is not personal. This pure energy of worthless is not personal. And I am willing to experience it. And just allow the energy to do the work. There might be thoughts, sensations, or nothing. Just take a few breaths. And I'll move a little bit more energy. So any contracts, agreements, curses, vows, implants, and imprints that made you feel not good enough, not worthy of their love, money, attention, are null and void. Clear, clear, clear. Any discarnate entities drawn to this fear of rejection, fear of annihilation, are now, we're going to gather them all from your root chakra, from your subconscious mind, and send them to the light, light, light. Clear, clear, clear. Any contracts, agreements, curses, vows, implants, imprints where not having money or having money makes you feel vulnerable are null and void. Clear, clear, clear. Any discarnate entities drawn to this scarcity mentality, this fear, this lack, this frustration and anger at not having what you want. We're going to gather them from your heart, from your subconscious mind, from your solar plexus, and send them all to light, light, light. Clear, clear, clear. Okay, let's take a breath. Take a look at the circle and see how's your circle with the potential ideal clients. Great. So whatever the shift may or may not be there, it's okay. It's just information. So far we've explored two fears, the two aspects of what may be keeping you invisible to your clients. So we looked at fear, deeply subconscious fears of being persecuted, punished, ridiculed. We looked at fear of asking and having money. I'm going to move into the third aspect. And before I tell you what it is, I'd like for you to come into your body. Just feel your feet on the floor, feel your sitting bones, relax your shoulders, release your neck. And then for a second, imagine that you've got all the clients you've ever wanted, and it's just queuing up. Like there's no shortage. They keep coming. Okay, they keep coming. What would that make? What would that mean? What would that mean about you? How would you feel? Like, what would that mean about you? Who are you when there is this unlimited supply of clients? Mhm. Okay, great. So really, really good points in the chat. Thank you for sharing. And so I'm going to draw on those examples. So it's not really personal. It's just we all have these parts, right? And so, for example, there's a comment that says, I'm welcome, I belong. We all want to belong, right? We all want to feel welcome. But it's a part of you that needs that, a part that never felt welcome and never belonged. It's a part of your psyche. And if that wounded part is the one that's calling in the clients, your client's going to run for their lives because they don't necessarily want to meet our needs. They have plenty of their own needs. That's why they're coming to us, right? And this is not wrong. Those parts are not bad. They really mean well. They're trying to help us not to keep re-experiencing the fear of, or pain of rejection and not fitting in. But when we superimpose some of our needs onto client work, it gets complicated. People are drawn to your energy. People come to you because of your presence and your vibration. And the more we can clean it up at the foundational level, the cleaner our transmission is. And then it's easier for people to come to us because it's not cluttered, or it's not tinted with any of our own stories and our own needs that we're trying to fulfill by calling in people, right? For example, somebody else says, it would make me feel special. I all want to feel special, right? We all already are, because nobody else can be you. No one else on this planet, no matter how hard they try, they can never be you. You are already special, but we don't feel it. Like there's a part that feels like, well, if I'm special, then I'm going to be loved. So a lot of the time we're calling in people because there is a part of your psyche that needs something. And the more awareness and kindness and gentleness we can bring to those parts, the less they would run the show. And these are deeply subconscious. We're not even aware we're doing that. Let me see whether there are any other example, like worthy, right? Like I will feel worthy when that happens. First of all, there's a condition attached to our worthiness. And if there is a part that is convinced that you are not worthy, it's going to repel clients because you need to have constant proof of your unworthiness. At some deeply subconscious level, we'd rather be right than happy. And so we're going to find evidence of our unworthiness in the absence of those clients. We're also going to put out a vibe saying, I'm doing all the right things. And in principle, I could help you, but I'm unworthy. So, stay away. Don't come close. Yeah. But take a nice breath with that. And let me know, how does that land? Good. So see if you can zoom into a particular part that's been at it, that's been really trying to get your needs met in the way that that part knew how to, right? Like as a child, you probably got the message that when you are useful, when you do what you are of service, then somehow you get some attention. And so that part of you learn to get you what you need that way. And it's not wrong, it's not bad. Bless that part. Thank goodness that we have these parts, right? But those are quite young parts that didn't have any other resources at their disposal. They didn't know any better. They are young children. They're young, wounded children, most of them under 7 years old. And they don't necessarily know how to um, function in the grown-up world of business and marketing and clients, and they get easily overwhelmed. It all can become very quickly too much. And the hardest bit is that we don't get those needs met. Yes, we can attract all the clients in the world, but that part is not going to feel worthy because you have 100 clients on your books. That part's just going to get overwhelmed. And with time, that feeling of being special and loved and all that's going to fade away because that part can never feel fulfilled through something that's external. That part can be only fulfilled and can come home because we can bring that part home, because we can heal that wound. Mm. So ask this part of you, what does it need? For example, somebody said, I feel like I talk too much in sessions. So what does that part needs to hear from you to be reassured? It's like, if there was a child who came to you and said, I'm really hurting, like this is hurting so badly. What would you do? You would probably comfort them, you'd give them a hug, you'd reassure them. guess what? We've got like a whole orphanage of those children inside, which are like they're really trying to get your attention. They're trying so hard to be good, and they all have their own task, and they are in a loop. They don't have a sense of a bigger picture. They're really doing their best, and they're doing it to protect you from some historic pain. Okay? So, for example, if there is a part that says, well, I might be talking too much, right? So that part is trying to somehow make sure that you say the right things in the right quantities, because at some point when you were a child, maybe somebody said, oh, you're like a chatterbox. Stop it. Enough. And so that child went, mustn't say too much, or else I'll be rejected. I'll be ridiculed. And so then that part creates this protector that's constantly on the lookout and moderates your behavior because it tries to protect you from somebody else saying something hurtful like that. Most of the time, this might come as a shock. Most of the time, we operate in the world from these parts. Whether it's your relationship, whether it's your clients, various parts of you get activated and interact with other people. Here's the thing. When somebody comes from a part, the other person's part responds. So if you are coming and you are constantly kind of watching your every word and trying not to be a chatterbox or be told off for that, that's going to come out in how you express yourself. Energetically, your client will pick up on that. And they might have their own wounding or story around that. And they might respond to that part by either telling that, you just interrupted me or whatever. And that reinforces our own wounding. So we can't really get far when we come from that part. And sometimes we do our best in the world and it's unavoidable and it's just how it is and it's very normal. Everybody has parts. Everybody. Everybody. Okay, can I emphasize that one more time? Everybody, all your teachers, all, gurus, whoever, they all have parts. The thing is not to make the part wrong, is to learn to come back home to your adult self, to your presence, to be aware of these parts and not to reject them. Say, it's all right, sweetheart, I'm here now. Come and sit on my lap and give me a little bit of space here. I am the adult here. Yeah? So when you come from that adult place, your clients would respond differently because your presence is magnetic. Your presence is the medicine when you do healing. All the tools you use are great, but they just amplify what you are bringing already. So take a breath with that one. And you know this for yourself, right? Because you know this, like you might go to some healer and feel like, oh, they're fixing you. I might feel okay and you might get something out of it. And then you go sit with somebody and just being in their presence, you feel seen, you feel heard, you feel acknowledged, validated, loved, accepted, and something happens inside you. Now show me your hand if you had that kind of experience. Mm. Thank you for all the comments. Really appreciate you. Okay, so let's take a breath. Come into your body. Your presence is not something you do up here. The moment you go up here, you're in a part. Your presence is in your body, in your bones. Come down and in. Come into your sitting bones. Take a nice breath into your belly. Let this sink in. Okay, let just permeate your being. Something in you is listening. You are here for a reason. And take a look at the circle. Notice if there are any shifts. And see if you can address the people in the circle, if you can see or sense them from this presence that you are, from this place of presence. And tell them, I want you. I need you. We need our clients, okay? Like people don't talk about this, but we need our clients. We need each other, right? They might need your services, but you also need them. And it's vulnerable. And so tell these clients, tell them, I need you. I want you. Come. I'm available. At least I want to be the best I can, right? And see how they respond. You may or may not get a response. That's okay.
All information is equally real.
So much noise today, eh? It's a noisy world of marketing. That's really affecting our call. A wonderful worry. That's great. Great. Wonderful. Yes, Linda, this is the secret sauce. This is the magic. Mm. We want the clients to come. We want to call the clients from the place of wholeness, not from the place of a wounded child who needs validation, acknowledgement, confirmation of their lovability, specialness, self-worth. We want to call them from the place of an adult who can handle whatever comes. And then clients feel that. They feel safe then. They don't necessarily feel safe to respond to the call of a needy child. And the child is not wrong or bad for being however they are. But it's not the same. Yes, it is hard to admit that we need anyone because of our wounding. Hyper independence comes from, it's a trauma response. It comes because we've been betrayed and let down so many times before. And so then we don't trust. We don't trust others, but we don't trust ourselves either. We don't trust life. And then we become super independent and say, don't need anyone. I'm all right here. And it's a survival strategy. It got you here. You needed it at some point in life. But you might be resourced enough to have different choices because you are in this room. So to recap, we looked at 3 aspects that can make a massive difference to your visibility as a healer, of shifting the subconscious fears of punishment, persecution, ridicule, healing your money blocks, game changer, absolute game changer. Because it's got nothing to do with money. It's got everything to do with your relationships. Money wounds are not about money. Money wounds are about love. If you think of any of your money stories that were painful, they always involved someone significant in your life. They were not about money per se. And the third thing is to call them from your presence and coming and inhabiting your own being, your own body, and learning to be present with yourself and with other people will make an incredible difference to the quality of how you show up, who shows up, how you show up, and how you call people in. So to demonstrate, I'm going to call you in because I'm offering a practitioner training in April. It's a 3-month training where I teach you my intergenerational trauma healing method, which covers karmic, ancestral, womb healing, and parental healing. There are a number of different techniques I teach you. I'll teach you how to wave your hands around and lift the energy, some foundations of family constellations, for example. I'm going to teach you a specific framework that you can supplement with the tools that you're already using. So it doesn't have to look a particular way. Every person will use it in their own unique way, utilizing what you already have. The program incorporates my Unlock Unlimited Love and Money course because, in my experience, that's such a key. It's like, I'm sure that you've done so many practitioner trainings and certifications before, and yet things probably haven't shifted in the direction that you would like yet because there are still some blocks to love and money. And so that is an integral part of the curriculum. The program's got so many different layers. It's quite hard to capture it in a sentence because we've got practice sessions where you can really play and experiment with the tools that you learn. There are some coaching sessions around marketing, confidence to speak up, as well as money. And you will be getting healing throughout the course, so from start to end. And the key theme of all the healing that will happen is around you stepping into your power as a healer, because it's one of the aspects that, one of the reasons that we're not fully embracing this path is because we're rejecting our power. Oftentimes because in the past life we abused or misused that power, or we felt that other people misuse their power, so we vowed we would never be like them. So we're constantly rejecting our personal power, which means that we're not fully stepping into our potential in our healing work either. And again, I know that a lot of people have done lots of programs here. I'm not saying that this is the answer, like you don't do this, you'll never make it. No, there are lots of different other pathways out there. But what I'm saying is that it's like, you're climbing a steep rocky hill, okay? Imagine that you are at the bottom, or, you climb certain way and there's some way to go. And I'm not suggesting that I'm right up on the hill, but, I've climbed that hard bit the hard way, piecing all this together from hundreds of different sources. Because this program contains like at least 20 different modalities and types of healing that I have experienced in my own healing journey. And so it's like a culmination of all the work I've done on myself and with other people. It's my life's work, right? So what I'm saying is that, okay, I've got that hard bit, I'm up there, And I'm just extending my hand and saying, come, I'll just give you a hand up. It'll be quicker to jump this way. Because once you learn that intergenerational trauma healing method, that's what I found in my own work, that taking clients to that root cause of their problems gets you and your clients much better results than looking at the symptoms. And even if you can go deeper, it's still, I find that that's the root. So any client, any problem that they come to you with, taking them there will maximize your results as a healer, which means that your confidence grows, your gravitas grows, your word of mouth, people speak about you kindly, and so your practice will grow. But I'm not taking it for granted. So as one of the bonuses for those who join before 1st of March, I'm offering a 5-session marketing mastery course. So I'm not teaching you how to market. I'm going to help you like we did today, looking at the circle, looking at the clients and aligning energetically to the right clients, cleaning up your expression and communication and messaging so that the right clients can hear you. Will be tweaking your mindset because so much of the time we have so many stories. Somebody said in the chat earlier, it's hard to earn money. Well, it's a mindset thing, right? If we're coming with that mindset, it is hard to earn money, right? But if you shift that belief, then things can shift so much faster. We're going to look at money blocks as part of the marketing and any fears around technology because I get that you've done many, many things and it feels like there's something extra needs to take you that extra step forward. As a second bonus, you also get a 5-week course with me, which is called Good Enough, because so many of our parts come from that place of I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy. It's a live course, it's really powerful. And even if you've taken it before with me, it's different every round. And if you join now, you can already start enjoying the recordings of the previous 2 rounds. So, um, yeah, there's a lot. So take a breath with all that information. I will send you a link to the program. And if that resonates with you, I would really love to welcome you. I would extend my hand and will support you on this journey of getting whatever you need from the experience. So take a look at the circle with the healers, with the clients. Again, just before you release it into the light. Thank them for giving you feedback and guidance. Release them. And let's dedicate all the energy that you released today to your highest self to guide you on a path of being visible to the right people for the right reasons. I'd love for you to think of your intention for our hour together. And see whether you are closer or whether you have any insights or what's the next step for you in getting closer to that, making that intention your reality. What one step could you take today? What are you taking away? What do you want to anchor in and remember for yourself? Mm. Great. So I'm going to send you the recording in the email with the details of the program and of the bonuses. I do hope that at least some of you come along. It'll go to be an amazing experience, and I'd love to welcome you. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really grateful for your presence here. I hope this serves you well, and I shall see you somewhere. Thank you. Bye.